Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. I'll draw a little scene for you as always, using a variety of pencils, a smudging tool, and some erasers, whichever I think works best. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Let me quickly draw my little frame. I realized when practicing the other day and this morning, I don't care too much about my lines being super straight. I just somehow draw the lines and then they're there. I get frustrated when I try to practice super straight lines. I guess I'll just have to take it the way it is, and maybe I'll just progress with time. For now, I like it much more when I draw one line and that's the line I'll use. Whatever happens, happens. If it's crooked, it's crooked. I'm really frustrated with what I cannot do, and only practicing also gets frustrating, because then, okay, you have got the things, the results of your practice on the paper, but it's not something, it's not a picture that you drew. It's just something you practiced. And so, of course, I do practice, but maybe I should practice a little less and just do something, draw something that I want to draw and finish that, and have some sort of result in that way. And that is also practice in and of itself, so why not use that approach a little more often? Okay, I'm drawing the sky right now. You know the drill. Making it darker at the top, brighter at the horizon. Just a little bit more down here. And maybe a little bit darker right at the top. Just correcting some blank spaces in between. Okay. Taking the smudging tool, I'm trying to get the sky as smooth as possible. Trying to fill up those blank spaces in between the lines. Getting rid of the line structure, and I keep having whatever that is on my piece of paper. Bits of eraser, and that was a hair or something. Okay. All right. Now let's have a cloud right here. I want to make it a very big one. Didn't know what type of cloud I was going to draw, but just as I'm thinking about this, I want to have a really big cloud over here. That goes all the way out of the frame, up at the top and to the right, out of the frame, out there. Okay. Make sure to create the outlines with circular lines, so you get those bumps and this nice cloud shape. Maybe another cloud over here. Maybe this one isn't as flat on the top, at the bottom. Maybe this one has a little bit more of an irregular shape. Maybe like this. Okay, now going back to the HB pencil. Say the light comes from the left, so I draw in the shadows at the right side of those clouds. Right and bottom side. Just some U's at the bottom and some C shapes on the right. Make it a real smooth little fella with the smudging tool. Make sure to leave a blank area at the very top, so you have the most amount of contrast between the dark and the light areas. And then this big one over here. Maybe all this area is the bottom area. So I'm going to shade all that. Right here, down there, very flat curves. With some spaces in between. Maybe like so. Make that a little smooth already. Pull it up into the rest of the volume. Really nice and smooth right here. And then pull that up. You can see that I'm really, it's really just like drawing with the smudging tool. Want the bottom to be darker. Let's use the 3B pencil for that. Create some even darker areas. In between, leave the light areas, but go in really dark. In some areas, right here maybe, and there. Again, making this smoother, making transitions from the dark areas to the lights. Just like so. Down here as well. Okay. Now going into that volume. Down here we have the C shapes. I'm trying to not make very large shapes right now. I had to sneeze right there, sorry. Yeah, as I said, I'm trying to create rather big volumes right here. Not concerning myself with too small volumes. No, I made those lines right here all on the wrong side, since to the left of those separation lines it has to be darker than to their right. Just like this, since those protruding areas right behind the lines that I made, this one that I'm indicating here and this one, they're going to be the brightest. So right to the right of those lines, it's going to be darker. Oh boy, I gotta blow my nose. Excuse me for a second. Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay, there we go. That's better. Yep. That was the stream. Quickly mute that. Okay. Now, let's continue with those shadow areas right here, shall we? Just shaded, just cross-hatching. All the areas to the left of those volumes. Maybe like this, then like that, and like this over here. Crosshatch the other direction, giving it a gradient. Just loosely go through there. Okay. Oh, forgot this area right here. Maybe like so. Okay. And then fluff it up using the smudging tool. Again, using circular motions as you get towards the edge. Because inside of the volumes there are smaller volumes that are also like these little circles that come out. Just like that. Like so, right here. Up there. Getting rid of the lines. Making it only a value. Okay. Maybe like this. There's our cloud. Let me take those darker values, those 3B values more into that upper area, maybe right here and up there. maybe like this, and down here, over there. Maybe that gives it more of a transition from the bottom side of the cloud to the side of the cloud. Maybe like so. A little bit more right here. Over there to the left, maybe. Yeah. Maybe that's more of a transition. I want those areas a little darker right here. They're right at the bottom of the cloud. They're supposed to be dark. Maybe like this. Okay. Now, let's go into the horizon. And right now I'm already indicating something all the way over here. Why not? So yesterday, when I drew that scene, at the end when I didn't know what to do on the right side, I wanted to draw this. I told you I wanted to draw a tree, but I wanted it to be in a certain position. And now I can start with this setup where this area goes up above the horizon line, and then I think I can draw the tree more like I want it to draw. More like I want to draw it. And you're going to see how so just in a bit. Okay, let's get something going on in the background. All sorts of hills down there. Just make it some wavy lines. A little more of a terrain right here. It's brighter at the top. So the background has to be a little darker. Right here as well. A little brighter here. Maybe like so. Okay. Now let's go into this foreground area right here. Let me erase that line that I made so that the top can be really bright. Just like this. Okay. Now I gotta make the bottom right area of this. Give it a gradient. Just like so. A little darker right here. Maybe some unevenness in the terrain. Something coming down like so. Something right there. maybe like this little bit over here. Just make the area above those lines a little darker to indicate a difference in inclination of the terrain. Darker down here. Okay. Now this cloud is really dark and you can barely see what I did there. So let me go in with a 3B pencil here. Just like this. A darker area right here. Maybe it's darker here as well because it's almost facing down. Got a little darker area right here. One right there. And this one over here. Interesting how high this area is in contrast now. More than the rest of when I draw it. But okay. Let's take it. Now, the tree is going to be up here, overlapping with this cloud. There's a root right there, and there it goes up into the sky. I want it to be a really old one, really big one, with a lot of character. Maybe like this. This root goes all the way over here. Starts right there. Then we've got this one over here. One going all the way down here. It's getting smaller down there. And then there's another one right here. Maybe like this. Okay. Now I've got to erase all this stuff that's behind the tree. Trying to get rid of as much of this dark area of the cloud as I can. Okay. Now let's give that fella a shadow side right here to the right. The right side of every root. Still gotta get rid of this. Goes into the trunk right there. Now all those shadow areas from the roots combine to the shadow of the trunk. goes far to the left. Let's have a less dense section of cross-hatching going more into the left volume for a bit of a gradient. Okay, let's get this nice and smooth. This tree doesn't have a lot of texture on the bark. It's a really smooth fella. Okay. Going darker on the right side with the 3B pencil. Going down here. Indicating those differences in inclination. Darker right there and right here. And in here as well. Okay, and then the right side over here is going to be dark. Just like shading a cylinder. Just like this. Okay, this area is pointed down a little bit, so it's a little bit darker down here, and so is this. So I make it a little darker down here. Okay. Maybe a little bit more to the right side of this root. Maybe a little bit more right here. And let's make it smooth again. Okay, I think we can go a little darker using the 7B pencil. Make it really stick out. Give it a distinction from the cloud. The very right is very dark. Maybe like so. Okay. Taking the 3B pencil, I will give it a little bit of a couple of structures, couple of characteristics. Maybe like this. Okay. We still don't have a good distinction between the foreground and the background, and I don't know, the tree looks like it's flying. What am I going to do about this? Maybe just give more of an indication of the terrain right here. Outline this hill that it stands on. Maybe. Yeah, that did something. And then this area right here. And those roots look really strange. Maybe this one is a little larger. Yep. instantly better. This one is right there. Okay, they also don't follow the shape of the ground. This one goes down in a very strange way. But, well, that's what it is. That's how it turned out. And that's how I'm going to take it. Time to clean up the edges. Up here. And down there. All right. Okay. Thank you for joining me again today. I hope you were entertained. Had a little fun, maybe. Maybe you had the stream in the background and did some work yourself. Maybe did some drawing. I'd be very pleased if I can motivate and inspire somebody to just draw themselves if it's their hobby, or maybe pick up drawing. Doesn't have to be for a long time. Maybe it sticks, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you just try out something new in your life. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.